I'm a very good cook. I cook a lot of things, and I know. Yeah, she used to think I can't cook more than her, but yeah, well, I just give it to her because I don't like competing.
Oh, no, I want you to compete with me. Please compete with me.
Welcome to another episode of 2 as 1. We've been looking at what it takes to be marriageable. The last time we said the first place to start is the place of the mindset. You need to begin to change your mindset, start thinking about marriage. Some people don't want to think about marriage until they are ready to get married, and that may be too late, because to change and to shift your mindset takes time. Yeah. So you need time to prepare your mind for marriage. So the first place to start thinking about it, and we talked about praying, that you need to start praying about marriage. In other words, there are a few examples of marriage prayers that we gave. First thing is about praying for yourself, not just praying about the marriage now, praying for yourself to tell God, reveal to me what are the things that I mean that I need to work on. And you'll be surprised how much you need to work on in your life. A lot of things that God will be showing you, and you'll be sincere to yourself and to God to be able to receive help to work on those things. We made a lot of illustration of what to pray about, how to pray for yourself, how to pray for your spouse, also the kind of prayer that you need to start praying for them. If you've not seen the previous episodes, please
go check it out.
Yeah, check it out, and make sure you also subscribe to this channel for subsequent editions and this kind of content. Yeah. So today we'll be going to something a little bit different. I'd like my wife to pick it up from here and tell us.
So today we're talking about, one of the points we'll be talking about is building emotional independence.
Yeah, this will be the third point, right?
Yeah, third. Yeah. The second one was prayer. Yeah. We talked about how you should pray, just like my husband already mentioned. And I mentioned a little bit about your walk with God. So it's going to be related with building emotional independence. Let God be your all in all. Let God be the person you go to when you need something, so that you'll be able to, when you're in need, you should ask God. When you are weighed down, when you're going through stuff, talk to God. When things are good, talk to God. Let God be your friend. Build your relationship with God so that you can be emotionally independent. There's one thing about our day and age today. You're having back-to-back talking stages. You're ending one, you're starting another, ending one, starting another. And all the emotions that would have been put into a relationship. Truth be told, you're already experiencing them in talking stage. So apart from having dated multiple people, and you're having emotional connections with all of them, even in talking stage, and you can be so used to it that if you don't have anybody that you are talking to at the moment, you are not yourself. You feel like the whole world is crashing down, is coming crashing down on you. You're not yourself. But you need to be able to build that emotional independence, to be able to be sufficient on your own, because by the time you get married, you are putting too much expectations on your spouse, and it's only God that can fill up that space. It's only God that can fulfill those expectations. You expect your spouse to know when you're unhappy, when you're sad. Yes, they should, but there is also another human being. She is also another human being. So if you've not been able to build up yourself in a way that even if I'm going through something, I can get out of this. So having another person in your life will just help you through. It will be easier. But not that because you don't have another person to talk to, you are not okay. It ought not to be. So let God be that person. Now, God forbid that we have marriages that one spouse or one person is not fulfilling their responsibilities and their roles. In those kind of cases, what happens is that the expectation of the spouse is definitely so high on the other, and the other is not even fulfilling it at all, and you're just frustrated. Meanwhile, the other person might even be going through some stuff, especially men, because they don't talk about their problems as much as women do. So, and usually, of course, we women, we have so much expectations on the men. We expect them to be there for you. We expect them to know your mind. We expect them to be loving. We expect them to be caring. Don't talk to me like that. Get me this when I need it. Get me gifts, and all those things are there. But if you're blind to the fact that this is another human being who might be going through some stuff and he may not tell you, you can be wrapped up in your own stuff that you cannot even see. So we need to be able to build that independence before getting married. Then you now learn to find a balance. Not that you are now too independent, you don't need anybody. I don't need you to make me feel good. I don't need you to tell me I look good today. No, there has to be a balance. But usually the reverse is the case, where you just expect the other person to do everything for you.
It's very powerful. Finding the right balance and being emotionally independent, that's very good. So it's something that we need to work on before marriage. If you see that you are someone that is very clingy, thank you. You're attached to someone so fast and so much that you don't want that person to be out of your space at all. And if the person, just your friend, if the person doesn't call you, you are angry. Nothing attached, just your friend. If the person doesn't say hi, you are angry. You may transfer that a bit to your relationship. And just like she said, sometimes your spouse is going through something, and you don't want to put all your life on them. Of course, there are times that everybody is up and you are high, but there are times that you are also down. At those moments, if you are not emotionally stable, you will feel like the person is not caring for you as person. So that's where you have, do you even still love me? You don't love me anymore, because the expectation is not being fulfilled as far as emotion and a lot of other things are concerned. So it is important, before you get into the marriage itself, try to be stable, such that your emotion is not dancing up and down every day. So that's something very important. And the way to do it is to build a strong relationship, fellowship with God. So that if you are going through anything, the first person to go to should not be your spouse. If anything is happening, the first one to go to is God, and then your spouse, and both of you go back to God. That's how it should be. But most times, you don't even want to go to God. You don't even want to think about prayer. You are just waiting for him or for her to come. Then I will pour everything. And once the person
is not available,
oh my God,
I needed you.
it can.
You were not there for me.
Yes, a lot of things can begin to happen. And the other person also, I was going through a lot in my days, and
you were so wrapped up in your own stuff.
You don't even see that his eyes is coming. Maybe his eyes are red when he's coming, and you just pour your own anger on him, or pour your own anger on her. As simple as getting food is concerned. As a guy, I know many guys love to eat food, and to eat good food, especially when they are married. If you are not, if you don't work on that aspect also, sometimes your spouse may not be sincerely able to prepare food for you when you come home. If you have not built that emotional stability, that if I don't meet food at home, heaven and hell will not crash, then you will not by the time you come home and you see that your wife is just maybe sleeping or working on laptop or doing something, you just get to the kitchen or get food in this house, and sometimes you will not even talk, you just be angry and be walking, walking everywhere, those kind of things. Those are emotional things that we need to all work on. So you get yourself prepared such that sometimes you may not be able to prepare food for you, so you have to get ready for that. This is 21st century, everybody's working, for God's sake. So she's working, you are working, so you need to prepare your mind for that, there are days that you may not get food. And you should be ready to prepare something. Sometimes you may even decide to order something, order for the house. Yes. Some of those kind of things are very important. And you do that, even start practicing with your mom. Start practicing with your mom, start practicing with your sisters. As a guy, I'm talking more to a guy now. To guys, start practicing with them. Sometimes they don't have the ability to cook. Just take your mom out, buy things for them. Take your siblings out and get things for them. You practice.
You can cook too.
Yeah, you can also cook. I'm a very good cook. I cook a lot of things, and I know. You used to think I can't cook more than her. But I just give it to her because I don't like competing.
No, I want you to compete with me. Please compete with me.
So I learned how to cook a lot of things. Name it. If I don't know how to cook it now, I can watch YouTube and you'll be surprised I'll cook it. I know when we were still in a long distance relationship and all those things, I didn't know how to cook fried rice that time. So I got the recipe from her. We were doing video call and she was telling me what to do. And I made it very nice. I ate it for almost a week, kept in the fridge and kept eating. So I was able to cook it from there. And so those are some of the things I'm talking about. Learn some things that will make you happy. You don't have to depend on the other person for everything. If you are depending on the other person, it's just like you are just doing it joyfully, not because you cannot live without it. So getting to be stable, building your own self and building your relationship with God will help you in your emotional stability. We should take one more point before we close for today. The other point we want to look at is the importance of studying, reading books. I don't think we can overemphasize this point because it is very crucial in your preparation. There are people that have gone ahead, they've seen things, they understand how marriage works. In fact, there was a book I read that helped me to understand how a woman thinks. I read how a woman thinks, I read how a man thinks. And I was able to, when I see my wife behaving some way, in fact, I did that right before before I even met her. I read part of the book, I read some, and it was another female friend that gave me that book, and I really appreciate her up to today. She gave me that book to just read and learn how women think. And okay, this is how this. So when I met my wife again, I went back to read again. I use audiobook also to listen to some of them, and I was able to realize, okay, so when she's behaving this way, it's not a problem. That's just a normal way a lady will react and will behave. So it is my responsibility to know that this is how a lady behaves and this is how a man should respond. And for her also, if she, in fact, sometimes we usually talk and we say, this is when you do this is how generally man will respond, and men will respond. So you learn from books. That's the essence of reading. You learn from the fall and the rise of a lot of people that have gone ahead of you. So reading books, read good books. You don't just want to pick any book and just read, but look for good books that can help you think, can help you understand yourself, and can help you understand your spouse.
I also read the male version of that book. I've read it twice since we met.
Wow.
So the first time I read it when we just met, and I was really excited to know those things. By the second time, we're already married, and this time, I think it was the second time I understood better. In fact, by the time I was reading, I was like, did I read this book? By the time I was reading the second time, I was surprised. I think I'd forgotten most of the things I had read the first time, because I think I was not really seeing those things practically. But by the second time, I'd seen them practically, and I knew that, okay. And then when I read, and I think there's a point maybe I need to ask to confirm, because I cannot just wrap my head around how a guy will be thinking that way. Like,
what is wrong with you?
Is this book correct? So I come and I ask him, and he says yes, and I'm shocked because what? I'm really shocked. So reading is important, both before and after. It's really important, and it's just an easy way out. It prepares your mind for what to expect. It prepares your mind for what you need to do as well, how you need to respond to things, and it just makes things easier for you. It makes it easier.
Very important. I'll say this lastly on that point, that no two marriages are the same. No. So some of the things that you read in the books may not apply to you. But that doesn't mean that you should not read any book because no two marriages are the same. So the book may not correlate to me. No, you are learning from people's experience. Even though you know that your own marriage may not be the same, however, you've learned something. What if it's now the same? What if that thing that you read in the book is what is affecting your own life, your own marriage? So you need to, it's very important to learn beforehand and to read. So we will draw the curtain today, and we'll continue from here again in the next episode of 2 as 1. See you.
Bye.